I wasn't quite sure how to go about this or what to say or just any of it, but I feel compelled to talk about it. Clearly, everyone in my kind of realm who either makes beauty and lifestyle videos, watches them, all that good stuff, knows what's going on. This kind of, we'll say, poop storm, because I try not to swear on this channel, that has taken place in the past, I don't know, probably month at this point, but it's been building for a while now. It's been interesting. To give you some backstory, I've technically been in this beauty community, beauty gurus that now turned into influencers or content creators, or, you know, however the terminology has changed. I've been in this world for almost 10 years, which a lot of people don't either believe or understand, because a lot of the people who've been in the game that long are these like multi-million subscriber people, or at least hundreds of thousands. So I started on YouTube in, I don't know, 06, 07, 08, and at that point I was on a different channel and I was making montages, like, of, you know, my favorite gymnasts and stuff like that, just like photo montages to music. And at this point I was learning makeup on myself, and I was, you know, watching some of my OG faves. I mean, Marlena was one of them. Emily Noel 83 is the top. Like, she was my all-time favorite. She was the one that I learned the most from, got the most inspired from. And she's even, like, personally talked with me over email and stuff like that, which was mind-blowing. X-Sparkage, Leisha is amazing. And I'll get more to kind of those people later on. There's so many, but I learned how to do makeup through YouTube, and this is something I tell everybody when people are like, how did you get into makeup? Because people will ask me that because of what my business is, and I always start off by saying it wasn't through my mom or sister, because they never wear a speck of makeup. So I was kind of on my own, and this was when YouTube was starting, and, you know, the OG beauty gurus are how I learned. And then at that point, so I was 15 when I first started learning, and at that point, you know, I also didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I did end up going to college for early childhood education, but that was my backup plan. And I found out, oh, you could make money doing makeup, and this is an actual career. And that's when a couple years later, I started, you know, getting certifications and building portfolio and networking, and one thing led to the other, and here I am. So that is truly how I started doing makeup on myself, how it flourished into doing makeup on others for a living, and, you know, that's how I started YouTube videos. So I started doing YouTube videos way prematurely, okay? So I started by not showing my face. A lot of you guys know this, just because I didn't feel like it at the time. I was kind of uncomfortable, you know, and I was still learning. And then finally I showed my face, and, you know, I started making more videos, and I was getting more subscribers. At this point, I was Makeup by Lauren Ann, which is still a running channel, so have fun. But, and then I grew to like 3,500 subscribers pretty quickly back in that day. That was like, it was actually growing. But then I had issues with my Google AdSense. And I got really annoyed because it wasn't my doing, it wasn't my fault. And, they shut me down, and so I kind of lost motivation and lost hope. And then I took like a few year hiatus, like 2-3 years, something like that. And then finally I came back on this channel as Lauren Makeup. I changed it to LA Page Makeup probably a year or two ago, just because that's my business name, and I wanted everything to kind of coincide, and it made more sense. So obviously by the time I had to start a new channel, the momentum was gone. There was probably no way I was going to get to the point where I started to get on my original channel. And that was even, you know, back in the day when lighting wasn't a thing, great cameras weren't a thing, my skills definitely weren't a thing, and it was, you know, that whole thing. So then I kind of just continued making videos because I love it. And to this day, I'm still here just because I still enjoy it, just because I still enjoy to share my love of makeup with others. I can link below a video about how I feel about the whole thing that happened this past February, where super small channels got their partnership taken away for, you know, any earning potential. I have almost $100 in my Google AdSense account right now, still sitting, because they won't give it to me unless I get to $100, which, you know, bothers me, but that's a whole other thing. But, you know, and I even said at that point, I'm probably going to take a break. You know, I'll be here when I'm here. It's not a super frequent schedule. But I'm still here. I'm still here, and obviously I'm primarily building my business, and so I have a lot of other stuff going on. I have, you know, you guys have seen me grow up. I have a house now, well, a condo, but still, and, you know, I have bills to pay and a lot of stuff to do and I'm responsible for, so things have kind of shifted and changed, and because this didn't become a main income earner, obviously kind of went to the back burner again. But the whole point of that little mini rant was to say that I'm still here despite, you know, the income potential completely going away after working so hard on everything for so many years. I'm still here despite being severely bullied throughout all of high school because of YouTube videos. I'm still here doing this for the whole reason of just loving it and wanting to help others and the love of makeup and all that good stuff. So it's just very interesting to me because obviously I watched Marlena's video and she has a lot of good points, and I definitely feel her personally and professionally, because I may not be a brand as far as cosmetic line, hope to be one day. That's definitely one of my big goals, but I am a business owner. I have a makeup business where I do makeup, lashes, waxing, the whole nine, and it's a serious thing. I'm an LLC, I'm insured, it's legit. And then I have YouTube life and social media life, and it kind of intertwines because social media and blogging and vlogging and all that stuff really helps with, you know, search engine optimization and just getting your name out there, more traffic to your website, your business. It all kind of goes in a big circle. So it's still important in that sense, but I am still like a separate business, not really separate, but I'm a business and I guess what you would call an influencer or a content creator. You know, and I started out as an influencer, content creator, beauty guru, again, whatever you want to call it. And then I kind of built the business with it. So I understand what she's saying, and I completely understand what she's saying regarding exorbitant amounts of money that you cannot afford to pay when you are a smaller company. Again, not a cosmetic line, but I'm a small business, and I'm not super rich. I am still definitely growing. I am not at the point where this completely sustains our living at this point. So I completely understand that you really have to nickel and dime things, and you need to be very smart about how you spend your money in your business, even though, yes, you need to spend money to make money in a lot of different ways, but it's scary and you have to be very careful. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I completely understand that these content creators, this is their career or job, whatever you want to call it. This is their living. When you get to a certain status, when you get to a certain amount of subscribers and, you know, sponsorships and AdSense and all these things, merch and everything coming in, it's a full-blown business. And there's no denying that. It was something that I always aspired to be, and I would have loved for that to happen for me and to kind of pair that with my in-person makeup business. That would have been amazing. I mean, that just would have been all my dreams coming true. So I completely understand where they're coming from, that it's like, you have to make money. This is your living. This is your career. It's a legitimate career nowadays. There's no denying that. Social media on any platform, I mean, there's people who strictly make money off Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, blogging, all that stuff is legit. Totally understand that. So I get how they have to make money too. And I also get how the amount of money she was saying, though, is a tad ridiculous. It's also very sad when it comes to, now you take James Bennett, who is an awesome makeup artist who I respect. He comes in and he talks about how he had an experience where for a negative review, you actually make more money. For a negative review on a competitor's product, you make more money. And that is super shady, terrible, awful. Me being a growing business, that is terrifying to think of, that someone can be just in it for the money and they don't care that your business is going to go down with it. You know, they made their coin, and so it doesn't matter to them. But at the same time, I don't think it's everybody. I think there's a small percentage of these influencers, gurus, whatever, who are like this, who are just climbing the ladder, climbing through people, using people, who are, you know, only in it for the money, things like that. Or maybe they're not only in it for the money, but they got to the point where their head is so big, you know, that they kind of are not humble, they forgot where they came from, and now it turned into that. So I definitely don't think it's the mass majority. However, what I think is happening is the minority is getting all the attention, and so it's creating this image that we are all the same, or at least all of the bigger ones, because I can't group myself in this because, you know, it doesn't make sense. But it kind of is that mentality that we're all the same. It's kind of like in school, when one person does something wrong and then the 25 other kids in the class have to pay for it. It's kind of one of those things, and so it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I hope this is making sense. My thoughts are kind of going all over the place, but I wanted to just kind of get it all out there. So it's like I totally respect Marlena as an innovator, as a business owner, a cosmetic line. I respect Kevin as an Emmy award-winning makeup artist. He knows his stuff. He's been in this actual game for a long time. And that's where the two worlds kind of meet. They, you know, because that's always been the thing too, is actual makeup artists and then social media influencers have always kind of been torn. And I think part of that is because of the trendy looks and not like, what I do is like, you see my channel, it's more of like actual wearable makeup. It's not super trendy. It's, you know, to be helpful, informative, that kind of thing. Whereas a lot of people have kind of gone down the deep end of the more highlight the better, and the you know, just all those things, the feather brows and whatever. And so I think that creates tension. And the other thing that creates tension is that, and this I can completely understand. So you have a working makeup artist and being a social media influencer, and it's because they're making more than the working makeup artist can ever dream of, or, you know, will get in a different way. And I'm not saying that the influencer is doing less work for it. I just think it's creating tension between the two. So I do understand that. I do. I'm not discrediting either, because I understand all of the work that goes into both, personally, professionally. I just see it as that. So I like that Marlena and Kevin kind of came together and created those posts and videos. Personally, I just thought it was a good move. However, the thing that rubbed me interestingly with Marlena, I don't know what she was alluding to when she said she wanted to work more with small influencers, because see, someone like me, I would love that opportunity. I'm so about it. I'm so about supporting her brand. She has amazing quality products for amazing prices. She's a boss woman. Like, I'm all for that. But at the same time, I wonder, does she mean smaller influencers don't usually get paid anything? It's kind of one of those things that you are so grateful to just get free product that you don't care. The thing that rubs me the wrong way is that as a small influencer, there's still a lot of time and work that goes into this. For example, this room I'm using, I have to completely switch it around before I can even sit down to film. I don't have a filming room, you know, I have to just do a lot of things behind the scenes before even starting to film. And then I'm still, you know, the only one filming, editing, posting, hashtagging, social media-ing, all that stuff. You know, there's no management or PR or anything like that. And I'm still doing it out of my free time, now that technically it doesn't make me any money at all, while I'm still trying to build a business and work and provide income for, you know, my family and just yeah, so it's one of those that in one breath I'm so hopeful of what she's going to do there, but in the next I'm kind of worried, because at what point do small influencers start getting a little recognition that this is still something that's hopefully viable for them too, and they work so hard to try and make it in this super saturated market, and it just, I don't know. So I'm a little torn there. However, I will say I represented a brand called Whoosh. You guys know this. Still love them. I think what helped lead to their downfall, long story short, I represented them from November 2017 to August 2018. Got a call from my agency 5 days before our last shift that they were getting pulled from all Ulta stores. It was Ulta Corporate's decision, and they just weren't making enough money, and they thought the end cap could be used better with something else. So as a freelancer, I was out of job really quickly with no pink slip. You know, I understand that's part of my field, that's part of my jam. I get it. Yes, I'm a little salty because it was a big amount of income for me, but that's not the point. What I was saying is, I think what helps lead to their failure is, again, kind of like Marlena, they're a small startup company with not a big budget for these social media influencers, because I would talk to the COO of Whoosh, and she was all about giving to social media influencers. They would give it to the smaller influencers on Instagram, YouTube, same thing like me. But because they couldn't afford these prices that the big ones were asking, they couldn't get any recognition, so nobody knew. And everybody in Ulta stores and, employees, clients alike, everybody would say, why don't you just get, why don't you get the YouTubers and the big YouTubers to talk about it? Because, as we see now, it is not that easy. Apparently, it's this whole thing, and nowadays a lot of people are chasing the money. Like I said, I still think that's the minority. I don't think that's everyone, but I will say, I think that the bigger YouTubers, they all pretty much do have a price. It may not be 60 grand, but even if it's 25 grand for a video or something, a small company really can't afford that. So it's no wonder that it kind of led to their downfall, which in turn obviously affected a lot of people like me, but also the company as a whole, which stinks. So I've seen it personally. So I want to switch gears now. I just want to get it all out there, have my perspective from a personal and professional standpoint, from a business owner standpoint and a beauty guru standpoint and all that, and I want to mix it all up and kind of give you my thoughts on it, because I have a lot of different perspectives. It's totally not just like one, so I thought it may be helpful to kind of shed light. But I wanted to talk about, the positive role models in the community. So there's a bunch. The couple I wanted to focus on, like I said earlier, are Emily Noel 83 and X Sparkage. So Emily Noel 83, she just came out with her collab with Makeup Revolution. She has a face palette and an eyeshadow palette. It's at Ulta. Oh my gosh, this girl, she's been so close to 1 million subscribers for I don't know how long, and she just it's not getting over the threshold. This girl has worked tirelessly. She was a news anchor when I was watching her. She was in her little apartment. She's moved a couple times. She has a couple kids now. I've watched her, and she has remained so humble, so real, so consistent, so professional, so varied in what she talks about, so honest, trustworthy. She has always kind of been a way that she didn't want to get paid for videos, and she was very selective about what she, accepted to review. I always respected that. And after all that, she's finally getting the recognition by having a collab. I mean, this is something that people like me, who the OG subscribers have waited for, and I am so happy for her. I can't even begin to explain. So she is definitely someone I will always ride with. I definitely recommend you check her out. And then the other is X Sparkage. Leisha. They're in Arizona now. They have a girl. They're married. I watched them. You know, I watched her go through like a crazy breakup and like all this stuff. And again, she's someone that I kind of grew up with. I've seen all the hair color changes and all this fun stuff, tattoos and all that. And I love how she has shifted her channel. She also is someone who doesn't get enough recognition. She has about 500,000 subscribers now, and she's stayed around there for a while. And she was kind of losing hope for a while. She was not uploading as much, and she was not really sure what to do, and she was getting a lot less views than she should. She just started switching gears probably around a month-ish ago, just having like more talking videos and being real, being positive, and now she has a little series where she sheds positive light on good people in the community inspired by this. And yeah, I mean, and now she's starting to grow again and climb again, and I'm so excited for her. And I'm totally gonna geek out. She posted on Twitter last night her Pokemon Go code and her husband's code, and so now we're friends on Pokemon Go, and it's like, I was kind of excited. But like, she's kind of remained in touch with her fans, which is also very nice. And I have also, like I said, had personal conversations with Emily Noel83. When I was selling Motives Cosmetics a few years ago, she reviewed them on her blog, and she mentioned my shop, and it was like the coolest thing. And just, yeah, these are two people that I will always ride with, and I definitely recommend. And these are the people, among many others, that I recommend you really check out and kind of get in tune with, because at the end of the day, they're more realistic in their makeup looks. They can be creative, but they're more realistic about the products they use or the techniques they use, how wearable it is, kind of stuff like that, which is my jam. And they're honest in their reviews, they're positive, they're humble, all that good stuff. So just remember, there are definitely these type of people still out here. I will always be one of them. I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, my upload schedule is kind of sporadic for a lot of different reasons, but I am so thankful for anyone who is still, you know, tuning in and stayed subscribed. You guys are awesome. And yeah, so I just want to get that all off my chest. I feel better now. Take it for what it's worth. We can have a conversation in the comments. Keep it friendly. That's how I do it on my channel. I'm not here for the drama. I'm just here for different perspectives. On that note, I'm out of here. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.